Second gear.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video, man. In today's video we are going to be doing a Z1 intake install. I'm not going to go too in detail with the install because it's pretty much straightforward. I'll go over what you need to do to remove an intake, but I'm pretty sure most of you guys probably know, but for those that don't, I'll quickly go over what you need to do. But this is my current intake. I basically just have a stock 350Z intake tube, a Z tube, and then a still-in like intake box. So it's just like a plastic shield right here, and then inside here is actually like a cone style filter. So here it is, guys. If you guys didn't see the last video, this is what I'm going to be installing today. So yeah, this is a Z1 new colder intake, I guess you could say. They recently released this intake not too long ago, a couple months ago. It's pretty much like an OEM G35 intake design, using the OEM design, and they just made it so that in here where the intake is at, it's like a cone style intake. So there's a cone filter in here, and it still keeps in the stock I guess you could say air duct that goes where the hood and slash grills at in the car. And they also added, like in here, it's like a airway for air to go inside where the intake is at. So the filter is in there, which is pretty cool. It looks stock, so this is the whole reason why I kind of wanted to upgrade to this one. And then this is just a regular pipe right here, your coupler to your throttle body, and that's where your MAF goes. If you guys didn't see my last video, I did mention that I did pick this up on Facebook Marketplace. I got it like for a really good deal, that's why I picked it up. I got it for less than half of the price it's listed on Z1's website, so I couldn't really pass it up. The only thing that is wrong with this intake is it is missing some mounting brackets right here and right here on each side of the intake. There's like some brackets that kind of look like this that should be on there to bolt it down so it doesn't like move. So it's missing those two brackets, and then down here it's missing some rods that like screw into there. The spot in the engine bay where the stock airbox mounts to, and those are where those rods would be, but it's missing those mounting points. And then for the MAF sensor housing, it's actually missing a gasket and a spacer that goes right here. So there's a gasket and then a spacer that goes on top of that, and then the MAF housing will go in. So it is missing those. I'm gonna just try running it without it and see if it's good. If I end up getting a vacuum leak, then I might just go back to the current setup. So yeah, let's get to the install. Alright guys, so here I just removed the engine cover. And for you guys, what you guys want to do, if you guys never removed your stock intake before, if you have the stock intake still and you never removed it, what you want to do, you're going to want to loosen up this clamp right here and remove this bolt right here, remove that bolt, and then you're going to want to unplug your MAF sensor, move it out the way, and then you could get away with not having to removing that one. You could take it off as a whole piece, which you could try doing that. If it doesn't end up working out, loosen up that clamp as well. And then for your stock box, this is not stock, but you will have a bolt right here in this corner. I don't have it, but there is a mounting thing right there. Remove that bolt, and then that air duct right here, I think it's just held up by two pop clips. I could be wrong, but you could just remove the pop clips if it is held up by pop clips, and then detach it, because I think it detaches from the actual box. And then once you have all that loose, you basically just want to pull it out, and then under the actual intake pipe, there is a line you have to disconnect, which I'll get to in a minute. So let me loosen up all that. Okay, I just loosened up the top clamp here, so you should just be able to actually pull on this part right here. Basically just pull on it, and then it should come off. So boom, this is off, it's loose, off the throttle body. Like I told you, remove all the bolts up here, right here, and then you could honestly have disconnect this, like I said, move it out the way, and then now before you pull everything off, you're gonna want to disconnect the line that's under the piping. It's like a line, I don't know if you can see the hose that says Z1, and then there's like a fitting right there. Basically just get some pliers, pull the little clamp back, and then just pull on the hose, and it should just detach from the tube. Found it easier to just loosen up this clamp down here and detach it from the this little stock little housing, and then it will let you actually like pick up the tube more, and then get to the hose that's back here with the little clamp right here. Now we have this intake pipe off. In my case, I can just pull this out of here, just like so, boom. So just like that, we have everything removed. New Z1 box is missing like those mounting rods. They would actually mount right here in that hole and this hole. This hole is actually missing this little rubber grommet, so it probably wouldn't even have fit in there, but one of them would have worked. They basically go in there. Also for the new intake, in my case, if you're installing the Z1 intake, you're gonna have to remove like a plastic box that actually goes down here. I already had removed it when I installed the other intake a while back, so I don't have it on here, but you would have an actual little plastic box that you'll want to remove as well. Boom, there is my old intake, still in part number. Actually, this says 350Z because this part is actually for a 350Z. So yeah, this is the old intake right here. Look how big the filter is. This thing is huge compared to the new one. It's like bigger than the actual box. Like, this is massive. We'll see how it performs. If anything, I'll just go back to the setup right here. I never really had an issue. The intake noises were actually really good on this setup. This should all be the same, old, the new. And just like that, I transferred over the MAF sensor into the new pipe. So boom, there it is. That opening right there, it reads the air, so that opening should be facing where the filter is at, so where the flow that air is coming in. So obviously this is where the throttle body's at, and this is where all the rest of the intake, so the air is going to be coming from this way up. So that's where you want the opening on the sensor to be facing. Obviously, if you're buying this brand new, put the gasket and the little spacer on in between the actual sensor and the tube. But since mine didn't come with it, I'm just running it without it. Hopefully it still runs good and there's no leak. Alright guys, after many attempts later, we finally got this intake on. It was kind of hard to put on this coupler up here onto the throttle body. Due to it being like the bigger throttle body, I don't think this coupler was made for this throttle body, so it was very hard to get this on here. I just tried my hardest to make it fit, even though I already knew after trying it on the first couple of times that this was not meant for the bigger throttle bodies. I might have to just order the one that's made for this throttle body, so it won't be so hard to put on and stress out the silicone here. But besides that, I made it fit. Got everything tightened down, so this is how it looks. Got that bolted right here. The MAP sensor is actually under here, on the other side of this, so it's on the bottom, so it's hidden, so it kind of gives it that nice clean look. Got this clamp down. Here it is, the air box, factory style scoop right here, so it gets the air from, I'm assuming, like the hood and the grill. Since I got this used, it doesn't have the brackets on the sides right here to help support this part, so it kind of is like a little loose, but it's not too much, it's not too loose. This helps a lot, having this bracket, which is the main one for the tube. That one helps a lot, so it's kind of not too bad. My other one was really loose, probably looser than this one, so I think we should be good. Down here is where it has kind of like that velocity tube or whatever to get air from the front bumper. That's right there, nicely exposed to the bottom of the bumper to get some cold air. So we'll see how this performs. I'll probably go for a quick little drive and see how I like it. I do like the look of this a lot better. It looks a lot more cleaner. I'm just kind of confused on why this, the tubing right here, looks smaller than the OEM Z tube. Like, this looks very skinny compared to the Z tube. All right, so this is the Z tube right here. As you guys can see, the stock 350Z Z tube, and this is the one that's for the intake. I don't know if I'm tripping or not, but the Z tube looks a lot bigger. Pause, but like, it looks a lot bigger to me than this one. It's kind of strange why they would make it skinnier than the factory hose or tube. I didn't measure it. I probably should have measured it to see if it's bigger or not. But maybe it's just a thicker plastic, so it looks like it's bigger, but technically it's not, because there is kind of like a lip in here. I'm gonna try a quick pull right here. I'm gonna like downshift to maybe second or third gear and see if I feel anything crazy. On second gear. Hard to say if I feel anything different compared to what I already had. Like, don't get me wrong, it feels like a car. There's not gonna be a huge difference, but I do say like low, I do feel it in the low and mid-range, like torque. It feels pretty good. Top end, I don't really know if there's a difference. Like, obviously it still pulls, but is it similar, better, worse than my other one? I honestly don't know. What I could say for sure is that the intake noise, honestly, I feel like my old one was louder. My Z tube with the still-in airbox and the big, like, kind of like the pop charger, the JWT pop charger is like the filter on that still-in airbox is the same as like a JWT pop charger. Basically the huge filter with the velocity stack in it. I don't know, honestly. I feel like my old one was louder intake noise wise, and it definitely had a unique sound, which I don't think this one has yet. I haven't really paid attention. Let me see if I could notice anything. I hear it very quietly. Like, it's not as loud as my last one, that's for sure, but it's definitely there. I know I could kind of hear it, but it's not as loud as my old one, to be honest. does feel pretty smooth. Feels really good. It's just the sound. The sound is a lot different, to be honest. The sound is a little bit more quieter because of the I would say maybe because this one's more in a box, while my other one was kind of like wasn't fully closed. It was more like in a shield. It was like more like a plastic shield in a way, but I don't know. I do like it though. It does feel really smooth. Yeah, my old one was definitely louder, I could say that, but this one, it feels really smooth. Like it picks up power really well. Both like the stock air duct that goes in the kind of like where the grill / the hood is at, like that side one, probably helps bring in air. Then the one towards the bottom of the box probably helps a little bit too. But let me do a quick second gear. Hey, we chirped. I think we chirped third gear. It feels really smooth. Like, I'm not gonna hold y'all. Like, the RPMs when it climbs is really, really smooth. So there it is, guys. There's the intake. Boom. Z1. Would I recommend it? Yeah, it's cool. Don't get me wrong, it's really good. I feel I do feel like it does something to the car. It being like a fully enclosed box, having this extra air duct where it could get air from like the grill area, and down here it has like the opening down there so you can get in air from the bottom of the bumper. Like for me, I have the Nismo bumper, so the air that goes in here could somehow go up into the air box as well. Compared to what I had last time, my Stillen intake with the Z-tube, honestly, I feel like that one was a lot louder. So like the suction noise whenever I would like give it throttle and whatnot, definitely was louder. I would say that for sure. This one you can still hear it, but it's a lot more, it's not as loud as what I had. This one's a lot more quieter, but you definitely hear like the intake noise. If you're really paying attention to the noise, you can hear it. But compared to what I had before was very loud. Mine was more like a whistly, it was very loud. I really like the way that my old one sounds. So I don't know, I'm gonna rock this for a couple weeks, see how I like it, maybe switch back to my old one, rock that for a couple weeks, and just see which one I really want to keep at the long run. But yeah, I really like how this one looks in the engine bay compared to my other ones. That's why I really wanted to pick this one up, because it looks very OEM, but like it's like an OEM plus intake, which is very nice. So yeah, so I recommend it. Hey, it seems pretty good. But if you're someone that really want like the loudest intake noise possible, maybe this one isn't for you. Maybe you were better off getting another one with a bigger filter, because mine had like kind of like the pop charger type of filter, very big with a velocity stack. So maybe that's why I had a very nice whistling spool, I guess you'd say. Not really a spool, but a very whistling type of noise. This one doesn't really give that really loud noise, but it's definitely, you definitely hear something. It's not completely quiet, but hey, they all have their pros and cons. This one probably keeps it a lot cooler due to the full box design. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like, comment down below what you guys want to see next, and subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, man, there's the G35. All right, see you guys next time. Peace.